Welcome back to a Thursday edition of Running Points on ysnlive.com. Ron Potesta with you. Coming up tomorrow night in Canfield, the Boardman Spartans look to get their fourth victory of the season as they take on undefeated Canfield. And to talk about that game, we bring in the head football coach of the Boardman Spartans, Joe Ignazio. Coach Ignazio, how are you today, sir?
Doing well. Appreciate you for having me on.
Well, I appreciate you for taking the time. I know that you guys are getting ready for what is going to be a very entertaining game on Friday night against Canfield, and obviously a game in which you guys can make quite the statement tomorrow night with a victory. Talk a little bit about what it's been like in Canfield week at Boardman High School with your kids. How have the practices gone this week, Coach?
Yeah, we've had a pretty good week of practice. We've gotten back to doing things the way we feel we should be doing them. We've gotten guys healthy throughout the last couple weeks and have been able to knock off a couple wins here. But know the tough task that it is in facing Canfield. They're a physical football team, but I think our kids are going to be up for it.
What is it about Canfield? I know the physicality is most definitely there, and that's a trademark of Coach Pavlansky to have that physical team. What is it about this team that has been their success to this point, in your opinion?
They're obviously a run-oriented team, but they've done a better job of mixing in the past this year with the young quarterback and Brock Lowry, and has tremendous athleticism. So I think, they have the opportunity to spread it out a little bit more. They do that kind of naturally with the run game. They have that good complement of fast, tough-nosed, skilled guys that they can get the ball to the perimeter, but that downhill run game with really good backs and physical kids like Samaro. So, that's it makes it tough to prepare for because you got to be sound. You got to be fundamentally sound and balanced defensively, and we think we always have an opportunity to do that. We just have to. We didn't match the physicality of their run game last year, which was a little disappointing, but we think will be much improved.
Coach, you talked about the fact that your team is getting healthier, and my goodness, you couldn't have gotten healthier at a better time. Obviously, the last regular season game, go into the playoffs, especially if you pull off the victory tomorrow night against Canfield, you go into the playoffs sky high.
Yeah, our quarterback has done a tremendous job in Terrence Thomas all year. In late June, we lost Jason Treveri and had to move our wide receiver to quarterback. And, he was very unselfish about it and had to kind of fast-track him in learning the position and really kind of learning on the run the way that summer and leading into doubles and things like that went. It was just a crazy year to begin with, but then to be asked to change a position in late summer was a tough task, but he's done it. He's had some tremendous success, and Jason's back now, which just gives us another weapon and the opportunity to spread the ball out. But our kids have done a good job the last couple of weeks defensively. Also, we've gotten back to kind of being more physical in practice and expecting that from them, and they know that that's what they're going to need on Friday night to win the football game.
Coach, a victory over Cardinal Mooney last week, 34-17, and as you said, you guys have looked a lot sharper in the last couple of weeks. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of the Canfield game, I got to ask, how surprised are you knowing everything that went on in the off season, how crazy the off season was, the fact that there was a chance that we may not even have a season, let alone a partial season. How surprised are you that to this point, knock on wood, you've been able to play your games without any problems?
We've done a really good job. We had a point over the summer that I think we were shut down for 2 days, that we had someone in contact that had tested positive. But, we had hung our hat on putting everything that the state was asking us to do in place and followed the rules. And we made our kids do that And it's tough because high school kids don't want to do that. When they get in close proximity with their buddies, it's tough. But my coaching staff demanded that of them, and we were proud of the fact that we didn't lose major time away from our kids once we got kicked off and running, and that was huge in preparation. We felt that there was still a huge need and a missing component when you can't do 7-on-7s and you can't scrimmage and things like that. And, you battle through those the first couple weeks of the season because you miss out on that time. But, not surprised. I mean, some schools have had to deal with it. We just did seeding for the playoffs, and you see all these teams that are 0-1, 1-0, and you realize how fortunate you are. But, it really comes down to putting the proper protocol in place.
How did you go about, if you want to answer the question, great. If not, I understand. How did you go about doing the task of seeding the teams in your region?
You know what? We met as a staff, and it's crazy. We tried to be as honest as we could with the process. It's a little bit different from us because a lot of the teams in our region are Akron and Cleveland area teams. So you kind of felt a little bit like they're probably going to buddy up in the voting system. And, when you look around our area, it's us, Fitch, and Harding. So, we met as a staff and broke all the teams down into 3 sections, and then made our decisions from there. I always do everything. I had my staff give input and things like that. And then we had that finished the other day, and then we're waiting on the brackets to come out here. I think most people have an idea of who they're going to be playing, so those should be out here shortly.
Yeah, unofficially coming up in about 20 minutes or so, we got word that, and again, it's all unofficial. We got word you guys were going to be playing Cuyahoga Falls. Have you heard the same thing, Coach?
Yeah, unofficially. So you never know. It's like crazy because once you've gone through all the COVID stuff and all the rumor mills that social media presents, you're a little bit leery on what to listen to and who to listen to. But it sounds like unofficially that's who we'll be paired up with.
It's amazing if someone were to leak all of this information out from the OHSAA offices. I'd love to know who this person is, and I'm sure the OHSAA would love to know who this person is because it was supposed to be a secret until they opened this stuff up at 1:00. So it's amazing how everyone is now slowly finding out who they're going to be playing in week number 7.
Yeah, I can't speak to their process, but I don't want to say that we haven't had an eye on it, but because obviously we haven't finished our season yet, so our concentration has been, we had to get the voting process done, but our focus has been on Canfield in week 6, and then we'll move on from there.
Let's talk a little bit about that game in the last few moments we have, and obviously we want to respect your time because you have a boatload of things you want to do with the kids on the walkthrough day prior to the start tomorrow night. What sticks out in your mind other than the physicality and what needs to be done for the Spartans to be successful Friday night in Canfield?
We put a challenge to our offensive line. They disrupt what you want to do offensively. Our linemen have some good experience coming back, and those are guys that we hang our hat on the offensive side of the ball. We've got skill, and we know that we can get those guys the ball, but they need the protection to do that. Canfield schemes present, a challenge there because they're constantly moving and in motion and bringing guys, and they play a physical style of football. So our guys got to manage that and weather through the highs and lows of the football game, and hopefully we're in it or on top right there till the end.
Do you feel like you can play with just about anyone in D2 as long as you can get your skill position players in space, Coach?
Yeah, as a coach, I firmly believe that. That's always a goal for our program. You're faced with different challenges every year. No one anticipates to lose your starting quarterback, coming in toward doubles. But, every team deals with stuff like that. You got to weather the adversity, and we think we put together a great plan. it's unique watching each group every year buy into your plan, and how each senior class carries that and takes it and runs with it. But we're pretty confident in what we do. We've never backed away from playing teams. When we dropped Division II, we were still playing Division I teams, and in fact, before the pandemic hit this year, we're still playing Division I teams like Jackson and Cleveland Heights and so on. So, I'm confident with our guys. They know that they need to play sound against teams like Canfield. They need to play soundly against teams like Ursuline and Fitch, and we didn't do that earlier in the year. So, we'll come ready to play, and there's no doubt about that. But it's always on the leadership of our seniors.
Well, you're a team that I would not want to play from this point forward, because you're getting healthy at the right time. It sounds like the kids are, along with the health and along with the fact that now everyone has their legs, and it's beginning to feel more like a normal football season, where this may not be a week 6 matchup. It's more like a week 2 or week 3 matchup because of all the stuff that everyone has been through. You combine all of that, you're a team that I would not want to touch in not just in week 6, but moving forward. I think that you guys are going to be a team that's going to give a lot of folks problems in the D2 playoffs starting next week, Coach.
Well, I appreciate that. And, it's something we preach to our kids. I challenge them to be, I call it 1% warriors, show up every day and just try to get a little bit better each day, no matter what happens, and deal with adversity. We call it control the controllables, and they've done that. So that's a testament to our kids and a testament to our staff on how hard they push our kids. Our kids know that they're going to be coached firm but fair, and some kids realize that, some don't. And if you do, it's going to be a pretty special thing, and we're looking forward to it.
Coach, I look forward to seeing the result on Friday night. Good luck to you, and best of luck to you as you guys get into week 7. But I know you got a lot of fish to fry with your 224 brethren in Canfield, so good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Go Spartans.
There you go. Joe Ignazio, the head football coach of the Boardman Spartans.